Okay, so if you've ever felt like you're just spinning your wheels at the gym, putting in the hours but not seeing the changes you want, this is for you. We are going to break down one of the biggest frustrations in fitness, getting stuck, and most importantly, how to get unstuck for good. Does this feel a little too familiar? You're showing up, you're putting in the work, you're sweating, but that scale just isn't budging. The weights feel just as heavy as they did last month. You've basically hit a wall. And if that's you, you are definitely not alone. I mean, this one sentence right here probably captures the frustration of millions of people. It's that nagging feeling that no matter how consistent you are, something just isn't clicking anymore. Well, that invisible barrier actually has a name. It's called the workout plateau. And you know what? Understanding exactly what it is, that's the very first step to smashing right through it. So here's the heart of the problem. Your body is just an incredible adaptation machine. Seriously, when you start a new workout, it's a shock to your system, right? But over time, your body gets really good at it. It becomes more efficient, and what used to be a huge challenge, well, now it's just routine. And that right there, that's the exact moment your progress stalls. But here's the great news. There is a single, super powerful principle that can break any plateau. Think of it as your secret weapon against getting stuck. And it's called progression. Okay, so the technical term for this is progressive overload. This is the cornerstone of literally all effective training programs. The idea is actually pretty simple. You have to systematically and gradually increase the demands you place on your body. You've got to constantly give it a new reason to adapt and get stronger. So, how do we actually do this? Well, think of it like you have four main levers you can pull. First, you can increase volume. That just means doing more reps or sets. Then you can up the intensity. That's making the exercise itself harder. You can also adjust the frequency, how often you train. Or you can play with time, like cutting your rest periods shorter to keep the challenge high. All right, theory is one thing, but let's get practical. There are a ton of ways to apply progressive overload, so let's walk through some of the most effective strategies to get you moving again. Okay, the most straightforward method is to simply do more. It's that simple. If you're doing 10 push-ups, your next goal is 11. If you're doing 3 sets of squats this week, try adding a fourth set next week. See? You're just increasing the total amount of work your body has to handle. Then there's the classic approach we all know. Just add more weight. Lifting heavier is probably the most direct way to increase the intensity. It forces your muscles to recruit more fibers, and it sends this really powerful signal to your body that says, hey, it's time to get stronger. But what if you don't have a bunch of weights lying around? No problem at all. You can use simple physics. Just by changing your body's position, you change the leverage. Take a push-up. If you put your hands up on a bench, it gets easier. But if you put your feet up, like you see here, you're suddenly pushing way more of your body weight, and it gets a whole lot harder. Now here's a technique that sounds simple, but is absolutely brutal. Just slow down. Instead of banging out your reps, try taking a full 4 seconds on the way down and another 4 seconds on the way up. This massively increases something called time under tension, making your muscles scream through every single inch of the movement. Okay, so now we know how to progress. Let's level this up and layer on some cool science to help us optimize when we exercise and to understand how different bodies might respond to all this. This is a huge debate in the fitness world, right? Is there a magical time of day to work out if you really want to maximize your body's ability to burn fat? Well, a really fascinating study from the NIH gives us a pretty powerful clue. Researchers had people do the exact same workout, but at different times. And just look at this chart. The results are pretty wild. The group that exercised in the morning, before eating breakfast, burned way more total fat over a 24-hour period than the group that worked out after lunch. So the really crucial point from this study wasn't just about the workout itself. The extra fat-burning effect actually echoed throughout the entire day, but only when the exercise was done in that fasted pre-breakfast state. Pretty interesting. And the science gets even more specific when we start looking at potential differences between men and women. For instance, some research on high-intensity training suggests that women might operate at a higher cardio demand and burn through more carbs for fuel during the workout. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, it's a great reminder that our bodies are not one size fits all. The real key is to listen to your own body signals, track your own progress, and tweak your plan based on how you respond. All right, so you've got your strategy for progressive overload, you're thinking about timing your workouts, but all that hard work can be completely undone if you fall into a few really common fitness traps. Let's make sure that doesn't happen.
Here are 4 of the biggest ones to watch out for. First, trying to rely on exercise alone. I hate to break it to you, but you just can't out-train a bad diet. Second, putting too much faith in your fitness tracker. Those calorie burn numbers, they can be wildly inaccurate, so take them with a grain of salt. Third is the reward trap. I worked out hard, so I deserve this pizza. That can wipe out your progress in minutes. And finally, being a cardio-only person. Skipping strength training is a huge mistake because muscle is your body's fat-burning engine.
So, after all this science, all the methods, and all the rules, what's the single most important takeaway? Honestly, it's this. A workout plan is completely useless if you hate doing it. These principles are here to guide you, for sure, but the real goal is to find a way of moving your body that you actually love, something you can stick with for the long haul. Because at the end of the day, it's consistency, fueled by enjoyment, that creates real, lasting progress.